in sunny South Florida, and I'm so pleased I'm finally meeting my friend Amanda van der Gulik, that I met, about 2 years ago?
Something like that, yeah.
And she was one of the first people that I interviewed on my teleseminars at the time, which has now become a radio show. And Amanda is this fantastic woman who has found a way to teach children about money. And I'm really, really pleased because after 20 years in working in schools, I've never actually met anybody who did that. And thanks to her, now it's available. So Amanda, I'm so excited to meet you.
I know, it's wonderful. We have had this great relationship as friends online, emailing, and on the telephone. But to actually meet you in person is just wonderful. And you are absolutely everything that I expected you to be.
Thank you, thank you. Well, Amanda, can you tell us a little bit more about your website, teachingchildrenaboutmoney.com?
Sure, absolutely. As you say, there's not many people who focus on teaching kids about money, right? It's always teaching the adults, but teaching children and teaching teenagers, about money is really important, because otherwise they get thrown in the deep end once they leave home, and the statistics are pretty scary out there. The number one reason that people are getting divorced is because of money stress. The number one reason, or like the biggest group of people who are filing for bankruptcy, are under the age of 25. Like, this is crazy stuff going on out there, and it's because we're not learning about money as a young child. And when I say learning about money, I don't mean how many pennies are in a dollar. Yes, you do need to know that,
right,
but you do learn that in school. That part is taken care of.
That's mathematics, yeah.
I'm talking about what you do as well, goal setting, giving them a reason. Why would they want to learn about money? They need to have a reason, a goal, something to strive for.
Right.
And then how? How do kids make money? I mean, some kids get an allowance, but some don't. And even if you do, you want a bit of independence.
Right.
You want to have a bit of control over how much you're making yourself. So helping kids and teens find what they're passionate about, and then how to create income around that, because you don't actually just need to work for money. You can make money doing things you love to do. So
exactly.
I like doing that with the children, and giving them things that they can do and some ideas. And then, of course, once the money is coming in, well, then we need to teach our children and our teenagers what to do with that money. How do you manage that money? So I've got this, piggy bank system that I use, and it teaches them, to set aside money for the different things, like for giving to charity, for growing, so your money can work for you, so that you're not always having to work for money.
Right.
And so there's a whole spectrum. It really has to work together, and so we focus on that, and it's been so much fun. I love it, and you see the children and the teenagers feeling empowered and growing up and being ready to tackle the world, because they know that no matter what happens to them in their life, like, we've gone through a pretty rough recession recently around
right,
the globe, but knowing that even if the worst were to happen to you financially, you have the money smarts, that wealth mentality, to just go forward again.
Exactly.
And not be completely crushed by the economy, but to have control over it, which is really cool. So
yeah,
that's sort of what we focus on with teachingchildrenaboutmoney.com.
And I really like the idea of goal setting and the dreams, because I work with a lot of teenagers, and you really see that, when they're young, they're like, oh yeah, I'm going to do this and it's going to be great, whatever. And then when they start getting a sense, and just because they don't understand about money and about various other things, they really lose their dreams.
Yeah.
And if they can be taught earlier at a younger age, okay, so you want to do that, well, this is what it's going to take. So maybe you're going to need to make that kind of money. How are you going to make it? Why don't you start now? And I think it's a great idea, because otherwise, kids are already 15 and they're like, well, they really don't have any motivation for life, because they think that their dream is never going to happen, because they don't think they're ever going to be able to make that kind of money.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very, very good skill, and it is definitely not taught in school, unfortunately. Don't know why.
Yeah.
But
and you're a teacher, so you know it's taught in
right,
school. Yeah, exactly.
And I think it's something that maybe, school is very much, I think people get mixed up between education and instruction, and
right,
education is what parents are supposed to do, and I think the money part is supposed to be done by the parents.
Yeah.
But a lot of parents now are kind of getting mixed up with instruction, which is what happens in school. I have a skill, I can teach your kids to speak languages. There's teachers who can teach mathematics, physics, whatever.
Yeah.
But then the rest, the life skills, it really should be left to parents.
That's
but
right.
I think the new lifestyle means that it's harder. So somebody like Amanda is really great, because she comes up, she's got fantastic free stuff on her website, and she's got tips. Like, you can just get ideas and things that happens around you all the time, like garage sale, where you can just get your daughter to do a little, join in a garage sale and pay a fee to the person who's doing it. And it's just things that you can put in practice just like that. And it's fantastic. A lot of it is free.
Yes.
And it's really
yes.
great ideas. She's a mine of ideas for that.
Well, my mother raised me that if you want to receive in life, you need to give. And so that's one of the things that I've always held with me, knowing that, you know, things will come my way if I freely give to others, because that's just how the world works. And so, yeah, on my site, I've got a bunch of different goodies. When you go there, it cycles through the goodies, but once you actually get into the membership area, you have access to everything. It's amazing. I've got a book there with 50 money-making ideas for children and teenagers, right? So to get your mind working, okay, what can I do? I'm 13, what can I do, right? So just to get some ideas going there. I've got a video that I give away, which is the 6 magical piggy banks, where I explain in detail the different piggy bank system that I use, so that the money is working for them rather than always having to work hard for money. And there's a bunch of other goodies there too. I've got a fun quiz software there for the parents, just to see how money savvy is my child anyway, so you have an idea of where to start, right? So yeah, no, it's really cool. And of course I've got a hilarious video on there. I asked some children from around the world.
It's great. Yeah.
And I asked them, where does money come from? Oh, and the answers are hilarious.
They're brilliant.
Oh, one little boy said, well, from the money shop.
Right.
So,
or my dad buys money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So you got to go and just check that out, 'cause it's hilarious.
Yeah. And what I also want to say is I find that the advice Amanda gives, which is really aimed at children, is actually sometimes very good for some adults. I just think I picked up on a few good things there. I'm thinking, yeah, I mean, that's not a bad idea. I can do that too, you know.
Yes.
So it is very valuable website, and all the products are fantastic. So please just go and visit our website. It's called teachingchildrenaboutmoney.com. And you can sign up for our list. She sends fantastic messages on a regular basis, and she's a mine of resources. You've got to meet her.
Thank you. Always so great to meet you in person.
Yes, finally.
Finally.
Bye bye. Take care, everybody.